Hey everybody, it's Shab and Nobody Else's Auto. We're back over here in what I call the new yard. Now, if you've been hanging out with us on here for a while, you'll know what the new yard is, but it's been a long time since we did any videos over here. We're just about done with them. What I consider the new yard was actually a 4-acre tract that literally butted up to my property on the north side. There were a few hundred cars in here. The gentleman that owned this, he hadn't been out here in years. I'd been trying to buy it for years. He finally passed away. It got hung up in an estate. And finally, around 3 years ago, I finally got it bought. We've been working our way through this yard, and we've showed you a ton of stuff in here exactly as I bought this place. There was no rhyme or reason to anything. As you can see right here behind me, there's a Mercury Comet, there's an International pickup, there's a Studebaker pickup, there's a 73 Caprice, there's a 53 Pontiac. Literally no rhyme or reason to any of it. And if we look right over here, we can see all these cars that were just scattered amongst this entire facility. So finally about done. We're down to the last 3 or 4 videos of everything in this yard exactly as it was sitting when I bought it. So if you want to check the rest of these out, they're all on the channel. You can go back and look at them. Up towards the front of the yard, I actually have started sorting, moving some cars around. But this last batch, we're down to the last corner. These are the ones that are still exactly as they were sitting when I bought this facility, which, like I said, it's kind of interesting because there's no rhyme or reason to any of it. You never know what's going to be on the next video because this stuff was literally dumped wherever there was a hole for it. So on this video here, we're going to check out the little Comet. We're going to check out the International. We're going to check out the Studebaker. And then, like I said, got a few more videos that we want to do before we move any of this stuff around. I love sharing this stuff with you guys exactly as I found it. So let's check these out. This little Comet's a pretty unique car. This is an earlier one. It is a basic sedan, regular black 4-door. Nothing really exciting, but these are so unique, and there's a lot of weird, interesting features about these little Comets. Especially on the back. We see a center-mounted trunk antenna. These had kind of a miniature tail fin. Of course, the Comet was a smaller car, so it did have kind of a miniaturized type tail fin with the taillights mounted at an angle. It had a pretty elaborate trunk lock assembly with a cover with a C right on the cover, still intact on this one. A really unique rear end to these cars, and even had a big stainless strip that said Comet right across the back. Another interesting feature about this car, Spruill's in Great Bend. Yes, Spruill's was the local Ford, Mercury, and even Edsel dealer back in the day. So this is probably a local car, probably been here in town pretty much its whole life. Comet right in the big cove on the quarter panel. And let's take a peek inside of this one. Dash cluster is missing. Radio obviously has been changed. Has a cool Comet emblem right on the dashboard, as well as a really unique glove box door badge. Check out that. Something else that looks really interesting. Look at this. I don't think I've ever seen a headlight bucket look like this. That's one of the headlight buckets out of this car that actually holds the bulb, but a really unique looking one. Come around to the front of this little Comet. There's our missing headlight. But these things are really cool. Check out the gun sight fender ornaments on this thing. One on each side. Hood's obviously missing, been replaced with what appears to be a trunk lid off of a 49 Ford. Had external hinges like a 49 Ford. And somebody cut the handle out of it. When they cut the handle out of it, it looked like there was a piece of it that bolted over here, which also reminds me of 49 Ford. So who knows whether that's correct or not, but that's what it looks like to me. But what's really cool about this trunk lid, even though it's been ruined, is they didn't ruin the dealer badge from Kansas Motors Inc. in Salina, Kansas. Check that thing out. Under the trunk lid, it does still have the old Ford 6-cylinder, but probably not good for much of anything anymore. Next to this little Comet, how about a 56 International S S-110. 56 International, very unique truck. A lot of this stuff was 1 year only on a 56. This was a half-ton being an S-110. It's a little rough. It's been sitting here for a long time, but it's still got a ton of good parts on it, so let's check it out. Obviously, the hood's been gone for a long time, so I doubt the engine's good for much. The nose is still here, still has a really unique grille in it. Was a very pretty truck, kind of a turquoise color. Would have been pretty sharp in its day. Inside this old binder, let's take a peek in here. Still got a lot of the dash stuff in it. The IH horn button. This was kind of a fancy one. It actually had a heater. Yes, a lot of these old trucks, a heater was not standard. It was an option. Even got the glove box door still laying in there. And another thing, like we talked about, anything in this yard kind of got dropped wherever there was a spot for it. Just like the back of this International is full of other parts. Looks like stuff off of about a 46 Ford car. Had the park light up on top. So kind of rough, kind of banged up. There's a bumper, a fender, a door. There's no 46 Fords around here, or 41 Fords, or 42 Fords, or 48 Fords, but there's a lot of pieces laying here for one. This old binder, not a terrible old truck. Still a lot of pieces here. Even has the factory spare tire mount still right here on the side of it. A lot of good bits and pieces still left on that old International. So let's catch one more old truck. How about this old Studebaker? 49 on up era Studebaker. Was some sort of a truck. I don't know if we can make any of this out on the doors or not. It looks like Reese or something. Can't really tell. Most of the writing is pretty heavily faded off of this one. Does still have a hubcap on it, which appears to be original. Big hole coming out of the door. Not really sure how that happened. No bed on this one. Inside, definitely a little rough, a little worse for the wear. Does still have the original cluster in it. Check out that horn button. That's a sharp looking piece. So, not sure what happened to the bed off of this, whether somebody got it years ago. But there again, still a lot of pieces left on this old Studebaker. Maybe that said like Regier drug, maybe? Kind of hard to tell. It's awfully faded. But maybe it said Regier drug and something supply. Can't really make it out. But it's still cool. Showing some age, but still looking cool. So that one's definitely a little rough around the edges, but there again, still a lot of good pieces on this one. So quite a trio on this video with the Studebaker, the International, and the Comet. So if you want to see some of this other stuff, be sure to check out the other videos. The Caprice, the Pontiac, some of that other stuff, those are all on other videos on the channel. You can always check those out as well. And still got this corner here to go. So we got some more cool stuff that we're going to be sharing with you in the near future on another video. There's a few more out of the new yard. I hope you enjoyed these. Like I said, we've got 2 or 3 more videos we need to do in here. Other than that, we'll have all of these cars covered in a video. So if you like these, be sure to check out the other videos. Most of them are titled From the New Yard, so you can check out all this stuff exactly as I found it. Now stay tuned, we've got a lot of other cool stuff coming up. I got a ton of new inventory videos to do. I've had a lot of things going on. I've been going to auctions, I've been going to salvage yards, I've been buying a ton of inventory. We got some new inventory videos coming up that you're not gonna wanna miss. Several Chevy Impalas, 47 Ford Cabover, 57 Cadillac, some more international trucks. A lot of cool stuff that's been rolling in for inventory that's all coming up on videos here in the very near future. You're not gonna wanna miss any of those. Plus all the auction finds, the oil cans, the toys, the new old stock parts. We got a lot of great stuff coming. So hit that subscribe button and click that notification button because you don't want to miss any of our live stuff that we do either. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. Stay tuned. We've got a lot more cool stuff coming up. You don't want to miss any of it. Thanks for watching, everybody. We sure hope to see you soon on the next video.